It's been a tough month. We've had huge revelations through the first phase of the report. And like many in this community, I was deeply skeptical of Martin Moore-Bick. When he first met the community, I was there at Phoenix School to tell him off and to tell him that he wasn't fit for the job. That there should be other people doing his job, that there are better representatives of the legal chambers who would better assess a community like this. When he first stepped into those chambers and asked everybody to rise, I saw the contempt that I thought was going to define that process. But I think once again we have to take our hats off to the bereaved and survivors who have changed Martin Moore-Bick through this process. And I think it's very clear from that report just how much moral weight this community carries. And it's very clear that serious institutional failures hit this community very, very hard. And part of those institutional failures came through the fire service. Now we can get into this, we can discuss it all we want, but the fact of the matter is this. Martin Moore-Bick did not throw the fire service under the bus. Martin Moore-Bick raised issues that the fire service have that he fears will not be adequately addressed if he doesn't mention it. The people who are under the bus and the people who are going to get rolled over in phase 2 are the corporations who are responsible for breaking building regulations. That building was non-compliant. That building broke the flimsy performance-based regulations that we already have. And Martin Moore-Bick is rolling up his sleeves to get rid of performance-based systems of building regulation in this country. And it's very much clear from that, from my reading, at least of that report, that we are moving towards a prescriptive system. This is one of the key gains that we have looked for in this struggle. And despite winning it, we are questioning whether we've even won it or not, which is mad to me. And it's deeply disrespectful to the people who've waged their lives on this thing. For 2.5 years, for everything that they went through, they fought, and they've had their work diminished by bad public relations, I would say. It's cheap to dismiss a report you haven't read. If you are in public office and the words come out of your mouth, I haven't read the report, but you should shut up right there. Right? Read it before you dismiss it and understand well, the good you see in that came through this community, came through Grenfell United, came through the amazing humanity that this community represents that has clearly impacted a cold legal mind. And that's incredible, right? That's incredible. And right now, there's a hell of a lot of scared people and a hell of a lot of corporations and RBKC, right? Who hope that this wouldn't be the case, who hope that phase 2 would merely be about litigation, whether or not building regulations were fit for purpose. We're not in that place. We didn't kick the can down the road. We know what's coming and so do they. And their time is up, right? They have got to clean house and they've got to do it now, otherwise we will rip people from those institutions as the information comes to our hands. Because there's a hell of a lot coming. And it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very traumatizing to know the level of contempt that these guys operated with, but we are now doing it with a clear and solid understanding that they are criminals. And talking of criminals, no contracts for killer companies. I would like to see a pledge in this election, because it's one thing to say you're going to insulate 27 million homes. It's another to say you're not going to use our chronic Salitex or Ryden to do so. Right? We don't want killer companies. There's representatives here today from Whittingham Hospital who have taken Ryden to pieces, and now Ryden are suing them, right? Because they lost the contract, and the Ryden, a company so good to us that they think that they can sue our NHS for their own corporate greed, right? It's not good enough, and we know exactly who we are facing down in this situation, and they know that we know, And they know we're not going to stop. We are going to be relentless in this pursuit of justice, and we will not let Biden continue to get the contracts. They put this stuff, and when there's pledges to new social housing, Biden are the preferred option of this government, and it is again the community pressure coming from us that has stopped that from being a reality. Now, we can get into a few other things that I think is best left for the time being, right? One thing that I will say above everything else though, right, is that we were in a very dark place. And this report carried a hell of a lot of weight. And its release has given many of us a lift in some way, shape or form, despite how difficult it is to read, because it tells us that we are not going mad. It tells us that Mr. Khabib simply had a Whirlpool fridge that should have not been on the market. Whirlpool admitted that when they took it off the market, but for 2.5 years, this man has been maligned. This man has been told he shouldn't have picked up a fridge from the outside, all manner of nonsense. That stops now. Anyone who continues to do it probably has Celeste to deal with on Twitter. But beyond that, the man is exonerated and should again feel comfortable in this community without the words arsonist written next to his name, right? Now, I think I'll stop near enough here, but I think we really do have to give credit where it's due, right? Martin Moore-Bick wrote a very good report, but he did it because there's community pressure to it. And that same level of community pressure is necessary for what we are going to go through next. And we may want to avert our eyes from it, but the reality is that the corporations who are responsible for mass death are going to get the treatment they deserve. Thank you.